Why do women position themselves into positions of power and authority over you? There's nothing that terrifies the woman more than these two things in life. Number one, the fact that she can't defend herself from gender, so she used the fairer gender, okay? And number two, the fact that she's dependent on men who do not depend on her. I'll say that again. The fact that they are dependent on men who do not depend on her. Women are dependent by nature. They're tied to their bodies. That makes them tied to the family, to men, to culture, medical institutions, politics, law, society. Women are tied to everything around them. They're dependent by nature. They can't survive by themselves. Men are independent by nature. We are untied to anything. We're not tied to our bodies. We don't have a monthly anything like that. We're not tied to people, family, society, medical institutions, politics, law. Men by nature are independent, even though you have a lot of men today that don't want to do that. But anyway, because of this threat, because the women have to depend on a man who can get up one day, at any day for greater pastures, he can get up one day when his woman is getting old for a younger woman. Because of all of these things, this makes women deeply, deeply insecure. And because of this, whilst when you get with a woman, you're going to be concerned and focused on trying to love her, trying to grow that relationship, blah, 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 blah. When the woman gets with you, she's going to only be concerned with positioning herself into positions of power and authority over you. The love takes a back seat. Anything else takes a back seat. Her first goal, no, she's attracted you. Her second goal is to place herself into as many positions of power and authority so that she can almost make you believe that you are dependent the same way she is. Now, if you don't believe me, let's go through some, guys. Can you see some already? Okay, so it's the same. All right, let me get into some anyway. It's the same positioning of the same way women position themselves into positions of power and authority. This is the same reason how women can unintentionally create a mother-son dynamic. Women tend to create the mother-son's dynamic that they hate so much because they put all of the effort into acting like a mother and forcing you to act like a son so that she can feel comfortable. Let's go through some examples, okay? Granting permission. The first thing a woman is going to want to do to you is try to put herself into the position of power and authority to where she's the person who grants permission to you. So if you've ever found yourself having to ask your missus if you're allowed to go and see your boys, then this is you've been successfully done here. Okay, and in this dynamic, usually in all of these roles, only one person can play the role and the other person has to play the other role. Okay, so if she's granting you permission, you are seeking permission from her. This is one of the clever ways she will get you to seek her validation and approval, even if, okay, it's all psychology. It's a clever way, right? So she will be upset with you. She will kind of demand that, how come you didn't tell me this, right? Or, you know, she will do what she does to psychologically kind of make you or force you to be someone who asks her for permission, like your mum or like your boss, like the judge, like the courts. Okay, only the people with power and authority over you will place themselves in that position. Now, what a lot of guys do is that they will kind of like they will just play along and entertain a woman and do it, but you can't. But this is how they psychologically get you, because even if you play along, if you continue to do this, your unconscious will recognize her as a source of authority. Okay. Next, we will go to withholder. Okay. Whoever is withholding the things that you like your mum or like your boss or like the courts as a form of punishment, is a person who's trying to place himself into positions of power and authority over you. Men don't tend to withhold things from women. Okay. I put the 4B movement here. I don't know if you've seen the liberals in America, they lost against Trump, and their first course of action was to all get together and say, let's stop having sex with men, let's stop being nice to men. So this is a way that women place themselves into positions of power, of authority over you, is that they withhold sex, affection. When you're being naughty, they take it away from you, they confiscate. So women will confiscate sex from you and stuff like that. What I advise the guys who are in situations like this, what I teach in my one-on-one coaching, I will teach you to place yourself into this position of power with women, right? This is the only position of power that I would tell you to do, guys, because to defend yourself. So You know, what you need to do ASAP is when she upsets you, you withhold sex from her. Okay? Like, withhold sex from her before she withholds sex from you, and you can have a good relationship. We need to talk. Who does this? Most men don't do that. This is what women do. Again, this is something a teacher would do. This is something a boss would do. They do this to put fear into you. All right. This is how they control the discourse, and they kind of put themselves into the authoritative position of discourse, and they'll be like, you know, blah, 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 blah. They'll start talking to you like HR. Emotionality / mood. Okay. The only people who are able to just be reckless with their emotions are babies or your boss. Okay. So babies are allowed to be reckless with their emotions because they have power like that. You know, we see them as babies and we think they don't know any better. And we see ourselves as being accountable for them. So when babies throw their, there's a saying that one person is able to throw there's a saying that one person is able to throw all their fishes out of their basket and the other person is trying to catch the fishes before they hit the floor. So it's that kind of dynamic, right? So the first thing a woman would do is to try to express her emotionality, and she'll try to control you either like a baby or your boss or your mum. Okay. When you go to work, the only person at work who's allowed to be moody, the only person at work who's allowed to be a prick, the only person who's at work who is allowed to just be in a bad mood one day is your boss. You're not allowed to do that. Okay. And it's the same for a baby. Surveillance. Okay. So it's only people with power and authority over you that have a right to your phone, have a right to know where you've been, to check what you did on Instagram, to check where you was last night. Oh, you said you was here, but really you was over here. Another way of positioning yourself into power of authority. Okay. Only your boss, your work, or your mum tends to do stuff like that. Where was you? Privacy, the mum. Okay. So, you know, when you was younger and your mum used to burst into your door, even though you told her many, many times to make sure she knocks. Do not just come. I don't know if have I spelled this wrong? Probably. You know, I think I have. Yeah. So like, only your mum don't give a fuck about your privacy, right? Because you know, women and your mum, they're codependent, dependent people. So in codependent and dependent relationships, boundaries, respect, and privacy, they don't exist. You burst into each other's room. You go through someone's phone when they're not there and stuff. So the way your woman infringes on your privacy, you know, so like nothing is truly yours, if that makes sense. And she has a right to the intimate, you know, even if you're trying to keep yourself to yourself and you don't express yourself, right? Your mum will be like trying to get you to come out of it. They don't want to give you any private spaces like your mum, okay? You tell your mum to stop knocking on, not before you come in. And she don't listen. She bursts into it. And she does it for a reason. It's how your mother positions herself into positions of power and authority over you. The judge, the police, okay? These are the type of people who ask you bare questions. Only one person's asking you bare questions and only the other person is answering them. So psychologically, if they can get you to kind of get used to having to answer to their questions, you know, the police will be, oh, we're doing all the questions around there. You do the answering, we do the questioning. That's how the police position themselves, and the judge positions themselves in the same type of way. They position themselves in that position of power and authority. And if you comply, this is how the woman gets you to submit. This is how the woman will change the independent man to the dependent man. Now, to go along with that, I've got the jury, okay? So if you're not complying, then she's going to get other people to kind of belittle you and smash you down. She'll get her friends involved. She'll get her family involved. She even get your family involved, right? And this is how they get, you know, the woman, the judge, the police, and the jury, all right? So this is another way they position themselves into power of authority. They'll get a jury, but really this jury is a combination of a bunch of twats that all just want to fucking destroy you and agree with her, okay? You don't, you need me, man, I don't need you. That is a Ed Sheeran reference, yeah? You need me, man, I don't need you. This is because, as I said, women will try to make you feel like this. They'll go out of their way to make you feel like this. But the truth is they're flipping something on their head. It's because they feel like that. And that's the truth of that. So they will spend a lot of time positioning themselves into positions of power and authority. So you feel like you need her and she doesn't need you. Again, psychological warfare, how they change the independent man to the dependent man. And also, this is the entitled, the cat. Okay, it's only your boss or babies who are entitled. All right, only people with power over you are entitled to things. Okay, you know, I'll be indifferent to you. You'll close the gap. That's the cat. This is another position of power and authority that she tries to put over to you. If you succumb to it, this is how she wins. Guys, sign up to the one-on-one coaching. You need to understand this is the only way a woman can ever win over you. You guys think it's the beauty. It's not the beauty. She uses the beauty and she uses these techniques to get you to submit to her, because the truth of the reality is she's supposed to commit to you. So without these things, and these things here, to be fair, the only reason why the woman knows these things so well is because the woman is so sensitive to all of the things she can and can't do in life, because she's dependent, because she is more prey than the rest of us. She's more, the woman is a hive mind, right? Understanding the woman will get you to understand you. All of these things here are things she responds really well to. She responds really well to these things. So if you want to learn how to seduce a woman, you just have to flip all of these things on its head, basically. Well, I wouldn't say do these things, actually. Scrap that. But you need to actually understand how to do some of this. Like, I would definitely recommend you learning how to withhold from women. I would definitely, you have to learn how to completely destroy her when she tries to get you to do this. You need to be the emotional one as well. This is another advanced game. This is what I'll teach. Strip away your woman's feeling that she's able to express her emotionality. Don't do that. Destroy her every time she tries to do that, and replace it with your own emotionality. You have a better emotionality. You have the space. Only one person can have emotional space and the other person can't. I would advise that you put your emotionality there, because hers is out of control. We need to talk. Absolutely destroy this. Any single time she says we need to talk, say, I don't want to talk to you. I'm only joking. Sign to one-on-one coaching and I'll give you proper advice. Surveillance, never, ever, ever allow your woman to ever do anything allows this. Absolutely destroy all of her attempts. Privacy, the mum absolutely destroy all of her attempts. Destroy all of her attempts. She'll respect you. She'll respect you and destroy all of her attempts. The judge, the police, there's no way you're answering any of her questions. You're not answering any of her questions. You also don't be the judge of the police to her as well. This role is a role that cannot exist. In interdependent relationships, this doesn't. This only exists in codependent and dependent relationships. Destroy all of her attempts. You need me, man, I don't need you. Absolutely destroy all of her attempts and let her know you know exactly the truth of the situation. You know exactly the reality of the situation where it's, you do not want me to leave you on the roadside in a couple of years. So continue behaving and providing me with value, because the fact is the opposite around. And the entitled, the cat. Absolutely destroy all of this. If you go online a lot as well, you see a lot of women encouraging women to be like the black cat and trying to get men to be the golden retriever. Oh, you man make me fucking sick. If you guys allow women to make you the golden retriever, guys, make sure you sign up to the one-on-one coaching, okay?